Okay, it is October 23rd, everybody. Welcome to this team call. I'm so excited to be here. This is Kayla talking, and I want to hear from you guys for the first couple minutes. Good news. If you've ever done a coaching call with me, you know that the first thing I ask you is good news. So I'm going to mute my line and not talk because this is where I'm really guilty as a mentor. I'd love to jump in, and I want to hear what you guys have going on. So tell me some good news to get started.
Christine, kick us off. Or Becky, go. Becky, go.
I had a girl call today, and she was hoping to plan a November party. So that's good.
That's wonderful.
That's amazing. Yeah. What do you mean? That's good. Like, what is that exactly?
I don't know if the date's going to hold, so we'll see.
Who is she and how do you know her? Because we all want to learn.
My sister-in-law. That's my sister-in-law.
Okay,
but
that's
she's
great.
a big partier, so I was kind of hoping that her and her husband would do maybe like a Halloween theme, or if it's November and it's at the end of November, maybe like an ugly sweater or something.
Oh, that would be so fun.
It would.
I love that idea.
I
want to
do
an ugly sweater event.
Who else? Becky, do you want to tell us what your takeaways were? Like at least something from 100 Million Reasons on your side, and then I'll have Sonia or Jesse share what they thought our 100 Million Reasons takeaway was on our side, because I think that's super cool. But what was your takeaway from that event?
I don't know. You put me on the spot.
That's my job.
I don't know. I really liked meeting Amelia. That was really fun.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I have any takeaways, but that was my highlight.
Sure. She's a hoot. I got a real charge out of her when she was doing her cooking demo. Did they do the Asian or what?
Yeah, the lettuce wraps.
Yep. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm so sorry, you guys. I'll talk quick. My favorite was realizing the person that Amelia is, because when she does the training videos, I feel like she's really formal sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like she's very much like one of us. She was so much fun, and she rolled with the punches during her cooking class. It was really great to see her in that light.
Yeah. Love that.
And then I'll also add, my good news is I got 2 more orders in my open party right now. So that was a nice surprise today.
Yeah.
Nice. Way to go.
Yeah, that's amazing. Are you going for a specific goal or something we can cheer you on for?
I feel like I'm coming into my really busy season with work, but like New Belgium work, 2020 planning, trying to get all that done. But I don't know. I mean, I guess I haven't gotten my head there yet, and I know I need to. And the sickness slowed me down a little bit too. But I mean, I would not be against going for leader. Oh my God, you guys! I'm in freaking Illinois, and I didn't mean to go this way.
Oh no! Oh, Jess.
Oh my God. I had a feeling I was going the wrong way. It's all good. I mean, shit. Anyways, I'm not, I mean, I would definitely I want to take the next step up where I'm at, but I need to close classes. So that's my main goal, first and foremost, is to get more classes on the books and close my classes. I'm still striving to get the 12 classes for my first, my fast start. So.
Okay, cool. We're going to finish good news, and then we're going to talk about growth. So you'll get to listen while you turn around and head the right direction back towards your house. But that's awesome. Good. Congratulations on the extra orders. And Becky, the added date. Thanks for commenting on what your takeaway was. I see that Jennifer's on now, so I'd love to hear what her 100 Million Reasons takeaway was and what her good news is. And then I want Christine to share some good news too.
Yeah.
So.
Am I muted?
Jennifer.
No.
No, we can hear you.
Hi.
Hey.
100 Million Reasons. I don't know, everything. Can I say that?
Yeah.
Definitely very inspiring. I like the what was the quote? 20 minutes of courage, or 20 seconds of courage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I need a lot of that right now. I'm in a slump.
Okay.
But you know, it was interesting to see Amelia do the cooking class. You know, how she just kind of rolls with the punches and makes everything flow, and like there's no what would be like an awkward moment. She knows exactly what to say and when, and so it was good to see that. And I know there have been some online videos of her doing that as well, but just to kind of study it so that you get comfortable doing it yourself.
Awesome. Any other good news you want to share?
Good news. I just ran a half marathon.
Yeah, that's huge. It's super
Yeah,
exciting.
you did.
Yeah, when you do good news with me, it can be about anything. I should have maybe said that, but good news can be anything. That's super awesome.
Yeah, that's part of my slump. I'm like in a post, like running, coming down off all of that high, and so my brain is mush. But business wise, I was supposed to be having a Facebook party tonight, and it was not a total flop, but it didn't go as planned. But she did reschedule, so
Did she?
you know, I am excited that I was able to keep the booking. So
Yeah, that's
we'll
huge.
see how that.
Cool. Awesome. And Christine, do you have anything you want to share? I don't want to put you on the spot, but I want to make sure you get a chance.
Well, I finished going through the units in is it the global page?
Yeah, Dana's
Mhm.
group. Awesome job.
I did that, and then I went through some of the university stuff.
Awesome. Congratulations. That's huge. That's a huge win. That's great news.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So all of you are coming to this call from a different place in your business. So obviously we're all rather new. Let's be honest. It's not like the company's been around 7 years or 20 years. Well, it has actually in Canada, but for us, it's new here. So Christine's brand new, joining this week. So welcome to your first team call, Christine. And then the rest of you have been with us for a little more time. But again, putting that in perspective, we're all pretty new. So Sonia invited me to just really connect with you guys and make sure you always know, let's just start out by saying this, you can always reach out. I think most of you know that and utilize that when you need it, but you also have a fabulous leader, and I'm calling her a leader because this is really the start of your guys' team run for leadership. Sonia's going to promote in November, and it's going to be super exciting. So you guys are all a really big part of that. And I first off want to talk about a couple of things you guys hit on. I know Jessie wants to really kind of figure out, how do you take that next step and how do you get into a growth pattern and stay there? I think, Jennifer, you pointed out a great point. We have ups and downs in life. I've had them. I was never going to have kids and found out I was pregnant in my business and went around that. We also moved homes, and I also almost got divorced in the midst of my business. And all of that takes a toll on you. I've also done different things, like been a diehard CrossFitter. And when we would stop, there is something that mentally happens. Things get, the schedule changes, the flow changes of your life. And for many of you, that might be a school schedule change. It might be a kiddo needing something that wasn't needed before, a new sport that gets added to your life, or piano lessons or whatever. Like there's always going to be things that change. And I am glad you said that, Jennifer, coming off of that high, because that's actually pretty common in anything we do, right? You went to 100 Million Reasons as an event. And then, life goes on the next couple of days again, and you kind of lose the high of that, just like you ran a half marathon and that was everything you were doing, probably, especially these last few weeks. And then it's over. And you think, well, I should have extra time now in theory, but we don't always utilize that to the best of our ability. So we're going to talk a little bit about just kind of where to go or how to go if you want to grow a strong business here. So I definitely recommend a piece of paper and a pen. But at the very top of it, I want you guys to really write something positive about your October and your November. So this is your homework. So write a note. I want you to, at the top of these notes from this call, write something positive about October, whatever it is that you are going to accomplish or already have that you're proud of, and something about November. For Sonia, it better say, I am a leader, because that's what she's going to be by the end of the month. And she's working so hard. And I just want to congratulate you guys. You guys are a part of that. I mean, I hear about each of you. I don't know if you know this, but Jessie, I hear about you, and it was so neat to have you come, to Fond du Lac a couple weeks ago. And Jennifer, I've obviously gotten to work with you a little bit on and off, but just the way that Sonia talks about this team, each of you, she's so proud to lead you. And I'm just so excited to get to pour into you a little bit tonight and give you some additional tips. So one of the things, first off, is when I think about growing my business, when I think back 5.5 years, I was just like each of you. I really think, I hope you guys read my post last night in the team page, because I was really just thinking back to that. I bought a business builder kit just like each of you. And actually just recently I bought a business builder kit with Epicure and I started fresh, right? Okay, wait, can I pause? Does anybody have any feedback, or is that just my headset?
No, I hear it too.
You hear it too. Okay, I'm gonna do
Yeah.
a mute all and see if it helps.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, that's better. Everybody good? Okay, if you want to talk at any point though, this is not a closed like forum, just unmute your line, but then we don't have it for the whole recording. Does that sound good? Shake your head if that's good for you guys. Okay, also, in case you don't know this, I have a tripod and a light and all the things, but I have all of you really big on a TV screen in front of me. So if I turn my head, it's because then you're massive. You're like this big, each of your heads on my screen. So then I can see your reactions to what I'm saying. I can almost see your nose hairs. It's uncomfortable, but it really helps me be a better coach and mentor. So you get this angle of me, but I can see you big over here. So I think back to my business builder kit, and this is really important. Guys, from day one, it wasn't like I came on board in, let's talk Wild Tree first, right? Because that's the company I was with first. And it wasn't like in overnight I was making $2 million here and just I had 100,000 classes on my books. I was just like you guys, barely hanging in there as a full-time employee somewhere else, a boss that was down my throat about the hours I was working and being committed and all the things. I was doing CrossFit, and I was really just doing this because I know Sonia's heart is here too. I liked helping busy people get meals on the table, and I loved impacting families. So this was like supposed to be my fun thing. And there are moments in this business sometimes that don't feel fun, especially if Jessie like left, I'm just using this as an example. Jessie did not tell me this, but if she left 100 million reasons on fire to go for leadership and take her business to the next level, and at the same time, as soon as she went to work on Monday, she has these responsibilities she needs to handle, and she has this in her personal life going on. That is so normal. So I just want to validate that and say the difference in, I guess, success versus giving up or never getting to where you want to go in this industry. So this is note number one. Kayla Troutman's tip number one is that most people just don't push through it long enough, like stick with it to get to the greener grass. Like there's not another business that's better. Don't let your mind play that trick on you. It's not that, giving up is just going to be easier and I'd rather just stay broke. It's just that you just have to get past the hump, and you're going to run into more humps in the future. Obviously, guys, I just lost a business of 5.5 years. I ran into a hump, but I could have obviously went back to a corporate job. I could have chose 100 different career paths. I wanted to rebuild this because I know this sprint right now with bags under my eyes and just working my butt off will be so worth it for the future. So I want you to hear that and see that. And I know that Sonia really respects that and gets that too. And that looks different for every person. Maybe you can't do 8 cooking classes, or maybe you are so nervous to ask somebody about the business, but all of those things can be conquered if you know where you're going. So my first tip is you only fail in this industry if you quit before you get where you're going. It's not actually failure. It's only failure in your mind. No one knows what your goal is. Like Christine, I don't really know in your deepest heart why you ended up joining. I know a little, right? We talked for 30 minutes, but I wouldn't say we're besties that go way back, although we can be if you want to be. But the point is, because she's laughing, she gets my humor, or she's pretending at least for the sake of this call. But the point is, like, I think I can generally sense on a call, all of you want something here. Also, all of you are on this call at 8:30 at night after you've parented all day or after you've worked all day. So my tip for you is moving into November, December, and January. And if you've never heard me say this, you will start to hear me say it a lot and you're probably gonna get sick of it, but it's important. You have to build 90 days of momentum. You have to treat your business right now like, I'm going to give this a fair shot for 90 days, like Sonia essentially has since she came on board here. That's why, you guys, she's in the place that she's in where she's going to run for leader with all of you, because she came on board here at Epicure and decided, I want to change lives with this. I love this new company. I love our team. I love the training we're getting from Dana on down. I'm going to commit. Even though I'm busy, even though hunting season is coming, and this is probably like terrible season to be running for a big goal in this business, right? Let's be real. She loves to sit out there and freeze and try to get something, which clearly you can tell I'm a hunter. No, I'm just kidding. I'm totally kidding. But my point is, like, I want you guys to see, like, it doesn't have to be the perfect season, or you don't have to have a team of 5,000 to win here. Like, you just have to commit. So she's done what I've coached her since day one she came on board. I said, book classes, follow the fast start. This is tip number 2. follow your fast start. Christine, I can't tell you anything different. Just follow that fast start chart. Tonight I did 2 orientation calls with consultants that joined this week too, Christine, and they are, really booking up their November so they can hit their fast start goals. The fast start is laid out to teach you, Jesse, where you're struggling, the consistency. I know it's hard. I'm not saying it's easy with full-time jobs and all the things, but you guys, I'm just going to give you a reality check. 4 trucking classes, like you can do 4 classes. It can be Becky's laughing good. She gets my humor too. It can be a Facebook party. It can be a catalog party. I don't actually care. But the concept is do the class so you meet people, whether that's virtually or live. Do what's good for you and get the orders in. Why? Because that gives you people to talk to 2 weeks later when their orders are arriving on their doorstep. It makes you feel good to impact lives. And then you're cycling them into your recipe club. You're treating them like a loyal VIP customer like you should. They come to your open houses. They become your best friends. Literally, they might become childcare for you. Or you don't know, but the relationship grows. If you take forever to meet that same person that you could have met now, if you just got out of your way, Jennifer, this might be you I'm talking to, then you're not, these next 90 days that I'm building a relationship and I'm going to recruit her in February, you're first talking to her in February because you're letting fear stop you. So my I guess biggest takeaway with tip number 2 here is follow the fast start. It's meant to help you learn how to do this around your busy life. Guys, this is a career. Oh, go ahead, Sonia. I can tell you wanted to say something. Pausing. Oh.
There it is. Okay. The only thing I was going to add in there is even once we're beyond our fast start, you can still restart your fast start. The whole idea and concept is how to build a strong foundation for your business. And you can be at any season and any year of business and restart your fast start. Are you still within that first 3 months of your business? No, but the concept is there. I just want to add that.
Yeah, and the concept never changes, P.S. So right now, I'm not telling Sonia, because she wants to run for leader, do 20 classes in November. I just said you need at least 1 a week. Ideally, you'll have a couple extra in case something bombs. Jennifer, you had a party tonight. It didn't go exactly great. You rescheduled it. That's awesome. That wouldn't have obviously helped if you're running for a specific goal right now this month. It didn't help you, right? Still good news that you're having it. So that's how I'm coaching her. Have a few backup plans, but just get your calendar solid. The fast start concept, I've heard a couple of Canadians that are not in their fast start anymore, but they, with us launching in August, pretended with us. They're pretending right now they're in their fast start with us, and they're chasing those goals too because it's exciting to be a part of that. I want you to realize tip number 3. I actually work less hard than most of you because I do it regularly or consistently, that this is like talking in my sleep. Christine, I could do that call we did yesterday, literally probably half sleeping. And not that I would, because I respect you guys and would never treat my business that way. But I want you to know the more I did it, the more I wasn't afraid, Jennifer or Becky. And this isn't me being a bullshitter. This is my real self. I've just done it a lot of times. So what did that look like when I worked full-time? At least once a week. And if you don't have a class, I really need you to commit to yourself, if you have goals here, to get in the car. And I don't care if you drive around the block. But I know Sherry, calls it her virtual office. She has a bag and she takes it somewhere else and she treats it like she's working her business that night, because I don't care what we all say. Most of the time, if I'm even out of my office, I do laundry, I do dishes, I look at Alexa and I pick 3 different stations before I settle into the counter. Let's be real, I'm not the only person that does this. And some people are way worse than me. 2 hours later and they haven't even opened their laptop yet. So my thought for you is the consistency piece will change your business forever. So number 2 and number 3 really relate. If you can learn to treat this like a business and be consistent and faster, that will just trickle in. So secret for you, Jesse, you specifically, because you've announced that you also want to grow to that leadership level. But to any of you that want to rank advance right now, I have a big passion for rank advancement, and I'll tell you why in a second. The thing that I would say the most is when I think back to my early days, I bought a kit just like you guys, never read a thing, never watched a frickin' video. So Christine, you're 3 years ahead of me already, I feel like. I walked into my first party and I literally looked like a fool. And you can ask Sarah McClanathan on our team, send her a Facebook message and say, did Kayla even do a demo at her first class? And she is going to say, that girl didn't. I was like, I love Wild Tree. Everybody buy some seasonings. There's some soup over in the crock pot and make your freezer meals. I sucked because this wasn't going to be a business for me. But you know what I always did? when someone had a question or someone got excited, I was genuinely right there with them. Like, yeah, let me find that out for you. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited too. I actually probably should practice this before the next class because now I just booked a class off of this one on accident. And that's how my business started. But as soon as I realized, quickly, I thought, you know what? If I get good at this, if I just hunker down, this won't be hard. I'll keep a bag packed in my office. And if you don't believe that that's what I do, in fact, I will show you. That in front of that mirror is my party bag, and it never gets unpacked, and it's always ready to go. So this is not hard. I get in the car, I drive to a cooking class, I teach the cooking class. Yes, I did the training. If anybody cares, I have done all the training. And now I know what I'm doing. And it's not hard. And I'm home. You guys, I'm making it for bedtime, which is crazy. Cooking classes are super fast. Why this lecture? Why is this important? We tell ourselves all these lies. We tell ourselves nobody wants to do this. It's party plan. Nobody wants to have parties. I'm too busy. I've tried things before and I'm not going to be good at this. Or I tried 2 classes last month and they both canceled. Yeah, probably, not saying always, but probably it's because you really didn't prep that hostess, coach her as good as you could have, really get excited. Did you mail her a hostess pack? Did you send her? My Scentsy consultant sent me a Facebook invite for my Scentsy class that was supposed to be last month, 3 days before the class. And she thought I was actually going to have a class with her still. People, look at my face. That is what some people in our industry do. They don't get it. No, I need that invite like 3 to 6 weeks ahead because that's how far I plan and my friends do. So we rescheduled. I coached her on how to coach me. We're in a good place now, and we're having a Scentsy party in a couple weeks. If anyone needs some Scentsy, I got a hookup for you. Anyway, why I share that is that's what we do, right? We make all these excuses. Things just keep getting pushed back, and because you're not in a solid routine, you're not in a growth pattern. So to grow, follow the fast start concept. Work really hard to have something going on in your business each week. And if you don't, can you make a little bit of time? Obviously, Christine, you did that. Obviously, Jennifer and Becky, you guys drove to 100 Million Reasons and attended. Jesse, you came here with Sonia, and then Sonia, you held a cooking class that next day. That's strategic planning, 2 cooking classes the next day. If you can figure that out, if you can get in those habits, it doesn't become hard. Now, side note to all of this, have I had Sundays where I had a class and I was getting in the car and I had tears in my eyes because my family was in the front yard swimming in a little pool when Macaulay was little and I wasn't yet working from home. I was still working full time. Yes, that was hard. It was so hard to leave my family. So if you're that mama, I get that. If you work all week long and you're struggling just to get through, make your own family's dinner, get the kids to bed, do it all again the next day. I was there. Macaulay was a tiny baby and I felt like some days like, oh, I don't want to go. But I also can tell you this, and this is like my last tip, and then I want to let Sonia add some things. If you are running this business, so I think this is tip 4 or 5, I'm losing count. If you are running this business, thank you, Sonia says 4. If you're running this business without a vision, a true goal of some kind, you will never get where you want to go because you have no idea where you want to go. And that sounds really stupid, but I am serious about this. I am so passionate about it. Like the difference in my own business from 6 months ago, before I knew that shit was going to flip upside down and happen, I had gotten into a very stagnant pattern, which was okay in this season of my life. But I'm going to tell you the truth. My business was not going to be in growth mode over these 6 months because I wasn't shooting for any goal. I just wanted to keep my income where it was at. And if you guys don't know anything about just the law of physics, you can't keep aiming at that target without intention or you just drop. That being said, when I first signed up for Epicure, everybody was asking me, what's your goal? And did anybody else feel like, I don't fucking know. I just want to get the kid. I want to eat the products, make sure they, all of your faces, you get it. Like Christine, you're probably thinking that right now because you don't even have your kid yet. We all feel like that. And then over the last, 30 days specifically, 60 days, Dana pushed me every week on our coaching call. You have got to get some vision for your family again. Throw those Wild Tree vision boards in the garbage because this is a new business, new company. But rethink about what you wanted in your life a year ago for this year, in 2 years ahead, you guys, in 5 years ahead. Because I want to tell you a secret. The only way you're going to accomplish what you want to accomplish is if you pretend right now that you're there for a second. You have to visualize it. So I sat down and I thought, okay, when I'm here at 12 months, and this is going to sound, you guys are the only people I've told so far this, except for Nate and Dana. When I sit down 12 months from now, actually June 28th of next year, I'll kind of be symbolic. And I look at my business and my life. What do I want? I don't want Nate to have to need to work at all because I want complete freedom to run this business when I want to run it. And I absolutely want to stay pace with my my rival who's in a different downline. And I'm doing that. And I feel a fire in my belly, not in a bad way. P.S. I'm very civil with this person. We actually communicate well, but I want to keep pace with her. She is somebody I chase, and she knows it. We had a conversation last week about this. And that might sound dumb, and that you might be like, that doesn't motivate me at all. Perfect. Then you know that you don't have that as a vision. So what is your vision? Some people are completely financially driven. I have been the last few years. Yes, it's always been about changing people's lives. I'm totally focused on customer service and you guys. But at the end of the day, if I wasn't getting paid, would I have kept doing it? No, I needed to provide for my family. It would have then been a hobby. Maybe for some of you, you want this as a hobby. Okay, but what does that look like? Because likely you're not on this phone call tonight at 8:30 if this is a true hobby. I'm guessing you want the hobby to at least pay you back for your addiction to Epicure or something, right? Disney trips or vacations. Maybe for you, it's a status. I have someone in one of my leaders downlines that very much likes rank advancements, praise, cash bonuses. That totally entices her to do the work. Even though financially they have a huge amount of debt to pay off, if she told herself, Jennifer, I'm going to use you. Again, this is not Jennifer's real story. But if Jennifer came to a coaching call and she shared with me that she had tons of debt, and I would say to her, like, doesn't that motivate you to go out and do classes? And she would be like, I wish it did. I'm sorry, it just doesn't. I would know that for her, even though she needs that, that's not actually her vision. She needs something that makes her want to get up at 5 a.m., even when you're tired, and get on our work session at 5:30 in the morning. You're all invited if you want to join us on Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays and work your business, because she maybe instead knows that because of the, again, I'm making this up, this is not Jennifer's true story, but maybe because Jennifer has that kind of debt she's carrying with her, now she can't do things with her kids that she really wants to do. So in the end, what motivates her is knowing that she can do things with her kids if she makes $700 a month with Epicure, or $1,700 or $7,000, whatever that looks like. I just really wanted to go over that because I think that's huge, huge, huge. So again, mapping out when you can work each month and using the consistency or the fast start to start somewhere, realizing that you cannot do this without knowing where you're going. You have to have some kind of plan. So if that's a struggle right now, Jennifer or Becky or Christine or anybody watching this recording, that is something that Sonia is really good at helping with. Man, did you guys watch her video a couple of weeks ago in Discover Epicure? Like, she is good at vision casting and kind of unloading or unpacking what's going on in your brain. But, I try to think back, if this helps you, I'll quick do this and then I want to let Sonia share or add thoughts. Nate shared it at 100 million reasons, but not all of you were there and we didn't record it. We literally, once we realized you could make money, yes, I say once we realized because I wasn't sure if Wild Tree would make me money or not. The first month, once we realized it, Nate literally looked at me and he's like, you are paying for CrossFit, which was $280, I think, a month to be unlimited at CrossFit. And you're paying for our groceries, which we shopped organic and we had healthy stuff. If you can pay for that with Wild Tree, that's huge. That's like $500 and some dollars a month, easy, $600, $700 that we can pay off on your college loans. So, but I knew he knew college loans would not motivate me. I'm sorry, but debt reduction, it should motivate me a lot. He's always had to trick me and flip it and tell me my money was going to something that actually motivates me. And then he was taking and paying off things. So mindset shift, I started obviously paying for that. It was no big deal. But you guys, as soon as I did that, I would plateau every time. Because I got to that point and that got easy. Making $500 a month is easy, right? Who agrees that once you hit something, maybe Jennifer, I'll use you, or Sonia, yeah, $50, that's your first goal and you start doing that, you don't really push yourself. So it's easy to stay stuck, or it's easy to run a half marathon and let yourself the next week kind of be like, I'm good. I'm not really making that much here anyway, or I'm hitting what I said. I've always had to increase it. So just know that you could be in that spot too. Maybe Jesse, the leader goal is your end goal, but right now you're stuck in a plateau where you're at. We need to get, past that. And so maybe you need to set something that's very doable. Like, honestly, I just need to hold 6 classes a month and I need to get over myself and stop saying I'm too busy. That's a great place to start because it builds up the momentum and stuff. So long story short, I started changing the financial goal constantly. And it wasn't always like just financial. Honestly, there was promotion goals in there. And then my next goal, somewhere in the middle, became I want to promote a leader. And Sonia, I'm sure right after Sonia gets to lead her, I know her heart, she's going to say, I want to help others do this. This was so exciting. That's what it becomes. And now that's a huge piece of where I want to go. My vision's actually right here to my side. All of your names are on here, and it's just where I want to go next. So again, sharing all this because I think, from talking to Sonia, vision casting with this team is something that is needed for sure. Do you all agree? This is a place that you are struggling. Okay, yeah, I'm seeing lots of yeses. Christine, you're kind of new, so you're getting this right from the start. Maybe this is good because then you won't get into a rut in 30, 60, 90 days, where you're feeling like, gosh, I don't know. Was I supposed to set a goal? Was I supposed to actually, care what happens here? You absolutely don't have to. You're welcome in any capacity, all of you watching this. But if you want to move and shake, you have to start something. And then the last thought I wanted to close with before I let Sonia talk about or add to this is the 90-day momentum I mentioned is so key because, again, too many times in this industry, we only focus on what's happening right now. But Jennifer, you're actually in a great place. You mentioned something tonight that hit home right away. You said, well, I'm just really excited that she rescheduled. You didn't focus on what happened tonight. Although, yes, again, it would have been awesome if she had a $700 Facebook party before this call and you could have jumped on and been like, I just had a $700 Facebook party. But you can still have a $700 Facebook party on whatever day she rescheduled. And I love that because, you guys, I have cancellations, postponements. I have a recruit that told me she was joining Monday, and now she's like in 2 weeks. Okay, we're joining in the future. Cool. Everything you do today builds your next 30 days, builds your next 60 days, builds your next 90 days. So you can't keep waiting or you're literally pushing your business off. So, okay, Sonia, what do you want to add to that?
The only thing I want to touch on a little bit too that has made a big difference for me. So some of you may have seen that Christine is new to our team this week. Rhoda is going to be ordering her kit tomorrow, or no, Friday, whenever Friday is. She's going to be ordering it on Friday. Yay, Rhoda.
That's awesome.
And then I've got other people that I'm still talking to about the business. I constantly talk about this business kind of thing. And I think the thing that has made the biggest change for me was Kayla put it really simply for me one day. She's like, I'm just really confident about my business. I just walk in there and it's like, no, these are the dates I'm available. If you want to book with me, because it's a blast, let's be honest, we're going to have fun. These are the dates I have. So I'm really intentional. I've tried to step outside my box a little bit and not be so overly accommodating to anyone that comes to me about it, because this is my business, not theirs. And so I'm more intentional with my follow-ups. I tell people, I got ghosted by a girl who reached out. I have never met her. She reached out. She was invited to a cooking class I did down in Watertown, and she only expressed interest in becoming a consultant. I reached out to her, talked with her a little bit, and I didn't really hear back from her. But each time I would contact her, I would say, sorry we missed each other. I'm going to follow back up with you on, and I would give a date and a rough time frame. I'm going to follow back up with you on Friday afternoon. So then Friday afternoon came. Hey, just want to touch base before the weekend comes and let you know I'm thinking about you and would love to connect. Could we schedule a time next week to talk about this business opportunity? I'm being really intentional with my timing, and I'm being and I'm honoring it. Does that make sense? If I say I'm going to get back to somebody at a certain time frame, I do. And I don't have anything fancy. I literally have this little notebook. I got it at the dollar store, and I just keep all my notes in here of what's going on. I have my notes in here from conference when I went, so I can just refer to that for inspiration. I'm putting my notes in from tonight into this little notebook just so I can refer back to them, kind of thing. But I guess those are my biggest tips is be confident about your business, even if you're brand new about it. So what? You're the only person that knows you're brand new. Nobody else knows. And I share, okay, so should I share my that's a wrap story? Okay, so a couple of you know this. I haven't shared this with everybody, but in my previous opportunity, I had I was doing a public event. I was gonna host so anybody could come. It was an open house. They could come, they could taste, they could see. I made these beautiful table displays. I had all this inventory, which P.S. you don't need to have inventory, and just don't don't carry inventory. Don't do it. And I had all this inventory and I was all set up. I'm like, okay, this is going to be amazing. I was so excited. I had a slideshow up on my laptop and all this stuff. Nobody came. Not one person came. And I'm like, well, that was really good practice for setting up all my stuff. I guess I know how long it'll take me. But I didn't let it slow me down. I took a picture of myself with a product and I just said, that's a wrap. And I posted on social media. I said, I'm really sorry if you missed out on on the open house today. It was a ball. I'll keep you posted on the next time. I had a friend reach out. She commented on there, man, I keep missing your stuff. And so I responded to her comment. Well, it's time you book your own class and you won't miss that one. She had a $1,000 party. So I had 0 attendees that led me to a $1,000 party. So when you hear people say head count doesn't matter, it doesn't. It's your attitude that matters. It's how you still show up and you present and you face yourself to other people. And that's what I tell people. It's like, nobody else knows that nobody came. I'm the only one. So why do I have to tell anybody? So I just kept the enthusiasm high and kept it going. And that led me down like a whole chain of people, actually. I was like, holy cow, that was cool. But
I love that example. So, okay, so I gave you a ton of information on this call, I feel like I talked at you a lot, but I know that we're all kind of now in this together, right? We're not necessarily like just launching this company in the US, although we really are, let's be real, for the next 5 years, we're really launching it. But meaning we're kind of starting, most of us, to sink into routines. Christine, you got to see Sonia do a Facebook party for you already. Like none of us are sitting here waiting for the company to go live on August 20th anymore to get started. We're past the let's get started. We're in it now. So first off, I'd love to hear, was this helpful? Did anybody take away something from this? And what questions do you have? Let's start there. And then I have a closing question or challenge for you guys. But I want to first hear takeaways and or questions.
I'll go first. Can you hear me okay? It's really raining.
Yeah, I can definitely hear the rain. I knew it was raining down by you probably because it's raining here.
So
but yes, sorry. I can hear you. No, it's okay.
I just passed Elkhorn, if you guys are wondering. Probably my biggest takeaway is just hearing you talk about like how you got started, just like for the discount, because I think that's how most of us start. And then once you get people hooked on it, you're like, oh, I can do this. And I would say, for me, I did an open house at my gym, and I've been going to my gym for 9 months now, and now I've got some of my ladies, my 5:30 a.m. workout ladies on. So I have like that momentum going, and I think I just need a little bit of time to get myself going. So it's just reassuring to hear your story, Kayla. And then Sonia, I love your story about, and I was pissed that because I had 2 open houses and I got nothing. And I was pissed that I canceled it and I didn't play the story that you gave, Sonia, about that's the wrap. It was so great to see everyone like white lie, but who has to know? Because nobody needs to know. Like only you know, and I think that's a great piece of advice. So for me, those are my biggest takeaways.
I love this so much. It's awesome. Yeah, I want you guys to know that I'm just a normal human too. And when Sonia hits leader next month, she's just a normal human too. We want what's best for you, and we want what's best for our customers, and we want more people to realize there is so much room here at Epicure in the United States. It's literally wide open territory. So yeah, I wanted you to see that real person behind, the fun training videos and the purple blazer that I'm wearing for Discover Epicure. But who else wants to share? Anyone?
I'll say something.
Thank you, Becky.
The consistency, I guess I really need to work on that. And the vision, I guess I just need to write down and plan a lot better. because I have one less kid in the house, so I don't have all of those activities I have to do now anymore. So can't use it as an excuse. Just got to do it.
Yeah, and sometimes it's hardest, Becky. I just want to say to you, way to be brave and say it on this call, because it's the hardest to get consistent when you're not consistent yet. It's
Yeah.
easier for me to fall off for a couple days and get back on, because again, these are almost such diehard habits now. It's like when you're in a great fitness routine, you can miss for a week because you have the flu. And yes, that first workout back is hard, but by Friday of that week, you're back in the same routine, right?
Yep.
What's really hard is if you've been sitting on your couch eating potato chips, like I maybe kind of have some nights lately, then it's really hard to want to get up at 5 o'clock and work out, right? Like lift weights, because you haven't been doing what you need to do to prime the tank. And also it physically is hard, emotionally it's hard. But once you do it, 21 days, whatever it is. So again, that's kind of my message. The longer you wait, Becky, the more you're actually just hurting yourself, because you're prolonging what you want. The sooner you start and just say, yeah, I'm going to hear no's. I'm going to hear lots of no's in October, November, but I'm also going to hear more yeses that I've been hearing, because I'm going to ask more people, which means by next year at this time, who knows what's possible, So thank you for being brave and sharing that.
And one more question.
Yeah.
Are we allowed to do vendor events yet?
No. And the story on vendor events, from what I had a one-on-one conversation with Dana about, because she obviously gets like updates constantly on the USA launch, is that they're not saying that they're not going to approve it. It's just not priority right now.
Okay.
And I just want to quick say too, in case anyone listens to this recording, or in case you're wondering about that, I've never felt vendor events were a terrible way to work your business. And I know some people have great success with them, especially in certain areas. Epicure, though, knows that a big reason people leave direct sales is because they invest a lot and never see a return. And vendor events for some can mean, in their mind, they buy a crap ton of stock. They think they need all this fancy banners and a tablecloth and all the things, and it just never pays off. That's one fear. And they don't want bad publicity for a new company. You guys can understand that. We want to grow. Second thing is, and I do think this was a part of the old opportunities issue, they're really big, if you guys haven't noticed, on policies and procedures so that it's fair. Meaning, Becky, I'm a leader and you're my downline, right? So it could potentially hurt you. We might know mutual people if I was to do a 40% off sale. And maybe in my mind, I have some reason that I would want to do a 40% off sale on meal kits or something this week. If I do that, that could potentially take, if we have a mutual friend, a customer that should be buying from you. I want them to be buying from you, but now they're going to buy from me because I gave 40% off, right? They don't allow stuff like that. They don't allow public selling ever. Like, we're not really supposed to ever post a party link or anything like that on our main Facebook walls or in our Instagram stories. You can talk about the business, of course, but you're really supposed to do that behind the scenes or in a private group, which is why, so vendor events are like literally almost in their mind going against their own policy until we have a procedure to do them properly. And the difference is, let me explain quick too, this might help some of you get your mind around this. You guys do not realize how little direct sales is. It's not a prevalent industry. It's not something that people are super proud of to be in Canada. It's a completely different world than it is here. We have a direct seller on, like, every house down my block sells something, right? It's pretty common. Whether it's Young Living for the discount or whether they're Top and Unique selling makeup, we all sell something. That's not common in Canada. So it's easy to keep track of and mandate rules for vendor events, because there's not vendor events at the ready like they are here. I don't know about you guys, but right now I could do a vendor event every Saturday and Sunday starting now all the way through January. I'm getting asked constantly. That's, I think, what they're afraid of. They're not prepared for that, the approval process and stuff, because Canadians have to submit the event they're going to, what kind, all the things. And then somebody in compliance approves every event.
Wow.
Yeah. So I think it's going to come. Don't worry. Don't fret. But I don't know that they're prepared. So I think they're trying to be smart, just like all the releases we've had. I mean, look at how fast the steamer came back. It was out of stock for a hot second. It was back quick. They're really trying to do good business. So while as an upline, I totally see the benefit of vendor events, because if you ladies want to work a vendor event, amazing, right? Like, I say that not being funny, but someone said to me, well, doesn't it bother you because it's your bottom line if we're not out working? Well, absolutely. But if it's going to hurt the company in the end, I saw what happened in the last company, and I'd like to avoid that again. So I'm trusting that there's lots of good reasons, but they should be coming eventually.
The only thing I would add to that too is, at first, like when I first heard that vendor events were a no-no, I was like, oh, like what? Like I have some really big major ones that I do each year. Like, holy cow, how am I not going to be able to do these? But now that I haven't been doing them like intentionally, and because people still tag me, hey, there's a vendor event coming up. Did you want to check this out? And then I reach out to that person and I said, you know what? I honestly don't do vendor events anymore. I don't, and I'm okay with not doing them. The reason being is I find I make much stronger connections with those smaller groups of people anyway. With busy vendor events, I just felt so scattered, and you really had to hustle hard after with the follow-ups, I felt, because you didn't make a solid connection. They don't really remember who you were. And so because there was so much going on that it was like, who were you? Like, what was this? Which dip? So yeah, I'll just throw that in there.
Yeah, I love it. Awesome. Becky, anything else that you wanted to ask? Like we totally went on a tangent.
No, I'm good. Thanks.
Yeah. Thanks for being on. Who
I
else?
had a question.
No more
think there
questions
was-
from you. Drive home.
Sorry.
I'm totally kidding.
I remember. I'm so sorry. I felt like there was chatter about, with so many people coming from Wild Tree, that Epicure was looking at making like freezer meals, or was that something that was getting worked on?
We are
Or
working
was
on
that
freezer.
a dream?
Nope, they're not Epicure, the company, is not wanting to do freezer meals at this time, but we have freezer meals coming your way. I actually have the first post. I'll look right now while the next person asks their question, and then Jesse, I'll pop in and I'll answer that question. Is that your full question about freezer meals?
Yeah, just about the freezer meal.
Yeah, they're not making kits. They don't really want us doing freezer meal classes, and that I could go on a 20-minute tangent about why that's not the smartest business move anyway, and why honestly a lot of our consultants in the old company quit because that process was difficult. But we are going to have options for customers. You can lead it as a freezer meal class if you want to, or you can just sell it as a bundle and they can make the freezer meals at home. We've got the first option ready for you, a Canadian, finished it, finalized the details, and it's ready to go. And then your leadership team, myself, Sonia, all the other leaders, we've been testing 10, mostly crock pot, but all very warm and hearty, but healthy freezer meals for our team. And we should have it together here, hopefully by October 31st is the goal.
Yeah, I was just going to say it was like created by our org, right?
Yeah, it's by us.
Yeah.
Jess Strand really did the meats and potatoes of it. So if you want to send her a thank you after it comes out, that would mean a lot. Whenever someone works on, curating something like that and putting their heart and soul into it. Jess does a lot of freezer meal workshops in North Dakota. It's a big part of her business. And so she's got a huge passion for this. But the company, I want to make sure, it's tomorrow, I think. Yeah, tomorrow morning at 7:35, I have the first set of freezer meals going off on our team page. It's called Thrive Thursday. And then it says, some of you told me that you would still prefer to have freezer meals for your own family, or you want to offer that as an option. So here's a bundle for you. And it's just $5 to get started. It makes the party quicker, and you can still do a full cooking class with the freezer meal prep if you want to do that, or you can just sell the bundle and you can have them prep them at home. So Jesse, does that answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
I got your back, girlfriend, and so does your leadership team. You are very welcome. Who else? Anyone? Takeaway from this call or question? No one else? Quiet. It's kind of creepy.
I'll go. For me, I think it's just sticking with the consistency. I think I have been consistent. Part of my downfall, though, is that, I send out a million emails and follow up with people who have placed orders or expressed interest in possibly hosting, and then not getting anything back, and so learning to be patient and knowing that it'll come back, maybe not right now. Now is not the time, but down the road, it'll come back.
Okay, I'm unmuted. I actually have a thought on that. I'm so glad you said that, and we're brave, because this might be a case for Jessie that'll help her, or Becky, and Christine may use this in the future, and anyone else that watches the recording. I'm going to bet, Jennifer, because you're such a nice, sweet soul, that part of the issue is how you are going back and circling back. First off, the speed in between, or the time lapse in between when you first ask somebody for something and you go back, and also just your direct versus indirect, or kind of Sonia, help me, we just talked about this, like I guess I'm not saying that you are not direct, but I'm guessing, because I just know a little bit about you, and your demeanor is so kind and loving, and you do the training posts for our team because you just are so good at loving on people. I'm going to guess that your strength in follow-up is not being like, hey, Sally, you said you were interested in the class. Here's my July dates. Pick one. I'm guessing your message more sounds like, hey, I know we were looking at July. How's that going? You know, like that feel. And I'm not saying that that's a terrible thing. It's a great quality you have, but I'm going to be honest, it'll take you much longer to get that person dated. So does anybody on this call have an example that I could role play out for you if I was sending the message versus you? Anyone have somebody that they literally recently were checking in with, or they have a story of someone that they thought was interested? Anyone have a real life example?
I have two ladies that were interested in booking parties with me for October or November when I did my own launch back in August.
Okay.
And following up with them, I've gotten completely ghosted. Neither one of them will even respond or
Okay,
have it.
Are they reading the message?
Yes.
Okay. I usually, thank you. Perfect example. Everyone take a note. These are some of my key phrases. Hello, Sally. Are you ignoring me? No, I'm just kidding. I don't say that. Okay. But you could actually say that if you wanted to. Look, I'm pulling my chair in so I can get really close and talk to you guys. Okay. Sally said she was interested. I followed up 3 times now. Now I'm just really irritated because why did you tell me you're interested? It's not like I was begging you, right? So I say something like, hello, Sally. I know your life is very busy, and so I'm guessing you've just forgot to reply to me. So I'm checking back in one more time. Can you please reply either way? Let me know if you're still interested. I was holding one of these special vouchers for you. $20 voucher, people. They actually go to everybody, but it makes people feel special. I was holding one of these $20 vouchers for you for your class, and I just want to see if we can get it dated. I literally say something like that. Like, I'm very direct back. Like, why are you ignoring me? Or, hey, Sally, last time we had chatted, you were super stoked about a class, and now I haven't heard from you, and I'm starting to feel like the Epicure stalker. Can you just hit reply and let me know either way? I know you're super busy, but I'd love to just know, are we on? Can I send you some January dates? Question mark. If she had replied already a couple of times, but you just never solidified the date, Jennifer, that would sound a little different. That would sound more like, hey, Sally, we were so close to setting a date, and then something must have come up in your life. I'm going to send you my new list of dates because a couple of them have been booked, and I'm going to check back in with you by Wednesday if you have not messaged me back, or by Friday. I only give 24 to 48 hours. Okay. Anytime I've had a conversation, this is a skill. I am so glad you were brave and bold and shared this. This is a skill that I have learned. I'm a little more generic if the person has ghosted me 3 times. Then I'm just trying to get them on or off my list. Lady, are you still on or not? Okay. But if I've had conversation and we were close to dating, or we were going back and forth about the business, I don't hee-haw around. You were very close to signing up last week, and something must have stopped you. Can I just ask you flat out, what is holding you back? Why did we not get you signed up for Epicure? Question mark. If she comes back and says, I didn't get the payday I was expecting. Okay, no problem. No embarrassment. Oh my gosh, I get that. Totally. How about I check back in with you Monday? In the meantime, are you in? Because if you're in, we'll do what we're doing with Christine and we'll get her started early, or we gave Christine that option. She ended up deciding to buy her kit, but we give that option. We're not a team of like, oh, no, you did not sign the agreement. You can't be in our team page. We know that people with community and things, are more excited and more committed. So long story short, I'm very direct. It just depends on the conversation, the direction I go. But I would go back to all those people that are ghosting you and just be more direct. That would be my advice. Mm-hmm. And the biggest reason is not because, you guys, I want you to hear like I'm a cutthroat business builder. I want you to hear that I treat this like a business, and that your people need to see you treat it like a business. The reason my cancellations are so low is because people know I'm counting on them. This is my job. So yes, they cancel if their dog is sick or a kiddo or something happens, or if they have 1 or 2 people coming and we can try a different date in the future, fine. But most of the time, my classes stick and qualify because the hostess knows I'm treating this like a business. I'm working on behalf of her. I'm hustling to help her get orders. I'm coaching her. They take it serious. If you're wishy-washy and you're, hey, checking back, seeing where you're at, I probably wouldn't book with you either. I am so busy right now. 201 notifications when I got out of my cooking class last night on Facebook. I don't care if you're checking in to see where I'm at. I need you to be direct. Kayla, I want to have a Scentsy party with you. I fucked up. I didn't do the invite soon enough. Can we reschedule for November 6th? And I'll get you the invite tomorrow. Boom. Yes, that is so easy. So just ideas for, sorry, I swear a lot. That's just ideas for you to put into your repertoire for words. What is holding you back? I feel like something is stopping you. Can you tell me what? Circling back, you must have just gotten busy. Can you let me know either way? Like those kind of key phrases. And I'm not saying that with sarcasm. I'm saying it like that because I want you to hear, why are we afraid to use phrases like that? We're not being negative. We're actually being very understanding and saying, I'm sure you just got busy, but can you please get back to me either way? Does that help?
Yeah, absolutely. That's what
This
I
could be like
struggle
a
with.
2-hour phone call and its own. Can you tell? I could give you word after word after phrase that I've learned just flipping the phrase so that it sounds more intentional and like direct than leaving it open-ended where they don't feel like they need to reply.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's what I struggle with is like how to talk to people. Yeah.
Okay.
Perfect.
Who else? Or Sonia, anything you want to add to that?
I don't think so. I think it just comes back to being very intentional, like you said, with each conversation that you're having, and showing like, okay, I've got my calendar in front of me. These are the dates that I'm working. This is what I want to book, and go that route. For all my in-home stuff, I have specific dates because I personally stack my days. So I only leave my house usually no more than 2 days a month. But I'll do more than one cooking class in a day because I've got my kids over at their grandparents or, that type of thing. And I'm working as many classes as I can into one day. And then I work Facebook events during the week is kind of how I plan my months. I personally don't do my cooking classes during the week. I typically do them on Saturdays. Or if there's a school day where we're off, there's no school, I will do them that night if my in-laws are around and can take the kids overnight.
Sonia, I have a question. Yeah. On the days where you stack those parties, what time did you schedule them at?
So my first open time slot that I offer to people on a new day is 2:00. I usually do early afternoon. Mm-hmm. And then if I have somebody else interested, I offer 5:00. So I do like a 3-hour thing in there, or a break, because I'm expected, so that helps keep me on track at my first class. Mm-hmm. So I want to be done and out of there. So I have a 30-minute window. And I've been doing it in a town where I work 40 minutes from home. I have a 40-minute commute. And so when I've been doing those stacked days, I'm doing it in that community, because then I can go to my work and wash my dishes and get reset for my next class. That's what I've been doing. And so that's been working. But that's what I offer. And so especially when I was going down to Watertown to do mine, like when Rhoda watches this, I was reaching out to anyone I knew who had reached out to me recently regarding Epicure, like just with any question at all, anyone that commented. I reached out and would be like, hey, Susie, I know we touched base about Epicure. I'm curious if you would be interested in a cooking class, either as an attendee or as a host, and just host your own. Like, what do you think? And that worked. Actually, that's how I got my second booking then that same day, because the ladies just asked me, she's like, well, what does it take to host? And to be honest, I didn't know if I could just invite her to Rhoda's. And then she said, well, I just want to be an attendee. I was going to have to figure out a public place to be able to just invite people over. But I said, well, I'll figure that out if I've got a group of people who want to do it, I guess. So I was just kind of like flying by the seat of my pants. Like my whole intention and my goal was that she was going to be her own hostess. Like I was giving her that option though, but I was making it like, it's really, and we all know it's really easy to host. I mean, it is like, phew, and you just get free pantry stuff. Sweet. You know, so it was kind of like a no-brainer, I guess, for her to take that option.
Yeah, I love it. I do lots of, like this last Saturday, I was stacked at 10 a.m. and 2:30. 10 a.m. ended up actually turning to Facebook, and it's been very successful, which doesn't surprise me. 10 a.m. on a Saturday can be dicey based on the age of like the demographic and the kids' sports and stuff, and that's what happened. But long story short, you can totally stack. I have done 3 events, or I've done all-day vendor events and a party at night when I was doing Wild Tree. It's actually easier. Nate agrees. I have a couple Saturdays coming up. I'm double stacked this fall, so I wouldn't have to work a Sunday then. That's better for our family than me leaving the house twice. Macaulay cries. You guys know the whole drill. And so it's just better for us. So if you can do that, I think it's fantastic. I actually am different than Sonia. I prefer to do my cooking classes during the week, even if I have to get a sitter. I just do not like driving away on a Saturday morning at all. I don't know why, guys, this is my career, but I can be honest with you. We all find a different way that this fills our cup and also can sometimes drain us. And I just find on Saturday mornings, especially and Sunday afternoons, I want to be home. I don't want to be away. So I really I could work all 5 nights of the week and it wouldn't bother me. Although I always leave at least one night to be home and do coaching like this. But just so you guys know, if you're listening to Sonia and you're like, that doesn't work for me, or you're listening to me and you're like, that doesn't work for me. If you don't want to double up because that emotionally drains you, don't double up. That can be hard for some people. For me, I could do 3 in a row and call that a week of success. I'd love that. So does that help? Awesome. Okay, I'm gonna hit end on the recording at least here so it doesn't get too long and people listen.